Right, we've got pizza guy manager. Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Yo,
Management,
alaikum
sorry.
salam.
Pizza guy management.
Yeah, man. Did
All
you order a pizza? Am I in the
right,
right
yeah.
StreamYard?
All right, you are on
Ah,
StreamYard. Where are you calling from? Yeah, we're all hungry now all of a sudden.
yeah, man. I'm hungry too. I'm in my lab right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you calling from? What country? What?
Florida. Florida.
Florida. All right.
Yeah, man.
Wow. That's it, man. All right. So
How
talk
are you,
to
man?
us. I'm good. What thoughts? Do you have any thoughts or a question or a statement you'd like to share with us?
Um.
Sorry, what was your name? Sorry,
Oh, my name is
I was calling you
Pizza
Pizza
Guy.
Guy. Yeah, yep, we've got that Pizza Guy.
Yeah. No. My name is Jamal.
Jamal, you're doing it. So Jamal,
Yeah,
share
man.
what would you
Oye,
like to
todavía
share
está
with us today?
practicando tu español.
Claro que sí, mano. Claro que
Oh,
sí.
man.
All right.
Tiene que venir para acá, tiene que venir para Florida y hablamos,
Ma-
platicamos. Yo, man,
Oh,
you're missing out.
we
You're
need to.
missing out on the melting
Flor.
pot of like
Okay.
all the Caribbean, like colonial Spanish, Caribbean, like just that admixture, and then
Oh yeah.
Florida's capitalism, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's crazy here.
Florida is the place, man. You guys have got all the. I've just got to watch TV series and practice. Yeah, I'm like,
No, it's
what
nothing
are they
like that.
saying?
It's nothing like that. People are relaxed.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Mashallah. So yeah. All right. So talk to us. What was
Um.
that? A science lab? Is that what your
Oh,
research? Is it
yeah.
or?
I'm doing research in entomology, so like study of insects.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything interesting going on there in that world? Apart from eating
Yeah.
them is not good.
No, eating them is great. I
Is
heard that
it? Oh
hadith.
wow.
I heard that hadith, but I think eating them is great.
Okay. Wow. There you go, people. From a do not practice that at home. Right. So
No, but I don't think that was the intention because I actually talked about it with a scholar. But anyways, that was a long time ago.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any other
Oh,
thoughts? Otherwise, we'll
you
call
asked me what's
this.
going on with this over here. I'm working on an
Mhm.
idea to apply nanotechnology to essential
Oh,
oils to
okay.
to communicate with insects instead of killing them with pesticides.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's huge, man. Wow. I'm really
Well,
impressed.
yeah, man. I hope it gets off the ground, but we'll see.
Yes, sir Allah. Yes, sir Allah. Cool. Well, Jamal.
I wanted to say real
Okay.
quick about the last conversation you had. Real
Okay.
quick.
Yeah. Sure. Go for it. Okay. What are
Um,
your thoughts?
yeah, I think you rightfully said that. You know, we got to value people who think outside of the box because there's sort of been this capture by the
Yeah.
pharmaceutical industry of public opinion and like how we go about
Mhm.
solving these issues. But at the same time, like you said, when you were kind of pushing back, you know, people that have gone off antidepressants and they haven't like derailed. And I
Mhm.
think that's an important nuance because you know there's have you heard of the default mode network in the brain?
Default mode network.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What do you mean
So
by
it's
that?
kind of like a network. It's kind of like different nodes of the brain kind of
Okay.
interlinked, and it emerges
Okay.
from those interlinking of nodes. There emerges this network called the default mode network, and it's primarily responsible for self-referential thinking. So when
Okay.
people get caught into like thinking loops, um,
Okay.
their default
Hmm.
mode network can get stuck basically in a positive feedback loop, and it
Okay.
just keeps going and going and going and going, and you just keep on thinking about whatever you're
Hmm.
ruminating on, and
Okay. Yeah.
it's one of the significant factors symptoms of depression.
Sure. Like
Um,
negative ruminations, just being stuck in a
exactly,
rut. Yeah. Hmm.
exactly. So you know, sometimes medication, like the previous person said, can be a step, and sometimes I think it can be a
Yeah.
significant step because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
you might be putting you don't know what the long-term damage from depression. We don't really know what the long-term damage of depression can be because of neuroplasticity. Like we can be rewiring our brains for
Yeah.
negative thought patterns, but in the same way, you know,
Yeah.
the medicine might give you a chance to rewire in a positive direction, but you do have to do your part. And like they say,
Yeah.
like, you know, exercises has the same statistical significance of some of these old school antidepressants that we have. And like you said, you know, there's psilocybin based therapy that's coming up and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Because that's another thing that you see this the pharmaceutical kind of industries haven't really. I know now they you see this is my point that the change in direction, because nature has given so many things, like let's say you say psilocybin in mushrooms. Now this is nature's cure to things like depression and much more, but yet politics here would not allow it until big pharma hasn't kind of stepped in and said, well, we're going to make a lot of money out of this. And then following that, legislation is kind of swaying. So it's not swaying because of the general interest and the heartfelt kind of sincerity. It's just swaying because now, these huge conglomerates have said, well, we want to capitalize on this and make a bit of money. So all of a sudden, the legislation's kind of easing up. Whereas really the research has shown for so long that psilocybin would cure people. So all these people, these years going through these kind of ridiculous kind of measures, not finding help, and the help was there, but they won't ease up on the legislation, and they won't even allow people to do research. It's like, what kind of
Yeah,
a where's the science in that? You won't even
it's
allow
called
people to do.
agency capture. Agency
Yeah,
capture. It's when, for example, like our FDA, our Food and Drug Administration, has
yeah,
captured this entire
mm,
agency, this entire final voice, authoritative voice
yeah,
in what is beneficial and helpful has been totally captured by the industry, and so it leaves the burden unduly on people like you to who are going to spread the message of potential outside of the box theories,
mm,
right? For us to kind of like crowdsource better
yeah.
knowledge.
Because it's true, that's well said, crowdsourcing knowledge, because it's so fascinating to just read up on a lot of this. It's amazing that a lot of people today, when they think of these kind of sacred medicines like DMT or let's say mushrooms, especially, we've all heard of mushrooms since we were kids, magic mushrooms. They think many people will associate them with drugs like recreational drugs, and
Right.
how they've been so swayed by politics, which global politics, which was swayed by Nixon. And it's interesting that Nixon's war on drugs has had such far-fetching impact that that people today who haven't even heard of Nixon, they wouldn't really care anything about him, and they would not join these dots. In fact, they would probably think these dots are absurd. But this is how it just goes back. It goes back to this kind of campaign for whatever his own political motives, this blanket kind of statement. And the
Yeah.
detail, people can bring research the details. The courts hadn't even passed their kind of judgment. He had just ruled a lot of these drugs as in the same category as just completely proscribed.
You know, it's like
So
it's like the propaganda that was out for
yeah,
marijuana, you know, in the turn
yeah,
of the century. It was actually the timber industry, the wood industry that made
or
money
was it?
on
Wow.
cutting down trees that launched this propaganda campaign against marijuana because they were fearful of the hemp phenotype being
Okay,
prolific
wow,
throughout the United States, providing a dominant source of fiber to the industry. So the timber
wow.
industry actually created this panic amongst these innocent white women in the suburbs of all this crazy Mexican weed coming to um, um destroy their daughters and make them more sexually promiscuous with black men. So this is
Wow.
just incredibly, and that the whole motivation was the timber industry. Like,
Wow.
and
Okay.
yeah, so it's just it goes to show that like so much of culture can be influenced and hijacked.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it's
yeah,
it's so true, man. So true. And
yeah.
I think, yeah, it's you know,
By the way, I
yeah.
am smoking some really high quality Pakistani Chitral Kush. It's grown
What's
in
that?
Florida. Grown in Florida. This is
Indica. Oh.
yeah.
Medical marijuana.
Oh, bro, the highest quality, man.
Oh,
You know we got
wow.
it. You know we got
Yes.
it.
Okay, people, I'm not encouraging those of you that are watching this to go and do that. Do not. I do not advocate smoking.
No,
Indica,
it's yeah.
doesn't that just
I think there is some research out there
stone
that
you?
if your brain is still developing, you should reconsider smoking marijuana. So I just want to put that out there. I don't know if it's conclusive, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I've
just
said
wanted to
that in
say that.
my videos. I've said that I believe it would be haram for people who's still going through neuroplasticity to, because the danger, I think it's probably irreversible. Allahu alam. But I mean, it's got.
Subhanallah.
I just think it's got to be very dangerous.
I
So
hope not. Brain is very
no,
neuroplastic. Yeah.
yeah, but especially I think if people are doing it when they're younger, and because the
Yeah.
neuroplasticity lasts till about 25, it's still kind of growing.
Yes.
So if people maybe what's happening to the synaptic kind of what's happening to the synapses, how are things being damaged? I just feel that the risk seems so high, and you see. And we spoke about depression. You see a lot of younger people. I know depression is much higher. It seems much higher in younger people,
Hmm.
as does, I feel, there's a correlation with things like what is it, cannabis consumption or marijuana
Hmm.
consumption as well. So
Yeah, and then there's all the whole schizophrenic
yeah.
predisposition thing. So I actually have a working theory on processing cannabis-based metabolites because actually the
Okay.
essential oils that fracturing into nano-sized encapsulations are cannabis. So I'm trying to use cannabis to talk to insects. But
Okay.
yeah.
You're trying to drug insects.
No, no, I'm really not trying to drug them. We actually kill them right now. We still repurpose chemicals from World War II to make sure pests don't eat our food. And we there's not a square meter on this entire globe that does not have residual pesticide
Hmm.
um, droplets. So this is important that we look for new solutions for
Hmm.
getting insects off of our food.
Wow. Well, you know what? Right.
But
So
hey, I
okay,
wanted to ask you
let's
one
wrap
thing real
this.
quick.
Okay.
Mufti. Hold on, real quick.
Let's see. They're
But
gone.
hold
And
on,
let's
just
see.
I'll land the
Yeah,
plane.
yeah.
I'll land the plane. I'll land the plane.
Go for it.
But you
Go
were
for
talking
it.
about you should come out to Florida sometime. But yeah, we were talking about
Ojalá, ojalá,
ojalá que
inshallah,
sí, no vemos. Vamos a ver.
inshallah.
Vamos a ver, Mufti. Man.
Amen, inshallah.
Oh, we had a beautiful clear sky, sunny 70-degree day today, and I think we might be out of
Uh,
winter, but alhamdulillah. But I wanted to
sure.
talk to you
So the
about this.
question,
You
yeah.
talked about the glance. You talked about the glance today. The
Mm,
glance. The
yeah, the
glance.
glance. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So my question is, do you think that supports an occasionalist view of reality? This idea that fundamentally we are constantly being sustained by this glance?
Right. I don't. Okay, so because I guess we are in the glance of God, so to speak. Like Allah watches over us. I'm not trying to say in the idealistic. I'm not. I mean, I'm not for or against the idealistic kind of argument of, well, there's just ideals and things only exist so long as we observe them. I'm not saying that. Like, so when I was speaking of the glance, I was kind of saying that, well, we operate at a level of consciousness and awareness, but the moment we become aware of somebody aware of us, we kind of have a heightened sense of awareness. So, because we are now not only the subjects of our subjective experience, but we become aware that we are also objects being watched.
And there's like
So
this recursive effect.
yeah,
Like,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. This kind of reflexive, meta kind of attention that is taking place, where we're attentive of someone being attentive of us. So yeah, so that's what I was. So I know you've got like George Berkeley and the whole in idealism. Well, well, if I'm not observing it, it's not even there. And or what's to say it's even there? And then, well, his kind of ultimate argument is, well, the world only is there because, well, God is observing it. I'm not. I wasn't kind of engaging that discussion. I was just trying to say that it fluctuates, it becomes heightened, it changes the moment, and at a fundamental level, we change, or we can change reality as it emerges from its potential in the quantum field. We can impact it, at least. So the whole kind of interference double slit example, when we become conscious of it, it it kind of manifests slightly differently. It still manifests, but differently. And so I was just saying the power of the glance right down to social media, where how we become, you see, like somebody may say, they have a social media profile and they are the creators of their profile. And that, in essence, the control is meant to, this is meant to be the locus of control. But really, what we start to see is that starts to control them. And it's by people casting their glance on it that the more they are being viewed by people, it changes them. They become kind of answerable almost to the profile. And I think there's just so many interesting things there. That's what I was saying. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Thank you
think we
for that.
better
And
wrap
all right.
this up. It's been good. It's been good, Jamal. Shukran,
Yo,
shukran. Muchas gracias as well,
thank
por
you.
invitar. And if I do ever fly over, to Florida, it
You
would
should
be
come.
great.
You
But
should
take
come to
care.
Florida. We should go to Puerto Rico. Let's go to
All
Guatemala, and
right.
then let's go back to Spain, and then you can show me UK.
All right. Yep. I'm sure the weather would just be like you're talking about from Florida right down to the UK, and you're like, what the hell's going on here?
No,
Cool.
I've been to the UK before. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh,
I
you
love it.
have, mashallah. See,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Right, Jamal,
Yeah.
take care of yourself, and we'll
Thank
speak
you,
soon.
everybody.
Shukran for joining us. People, that was Jamal from Florida.